Bill Reisig from Coldbrook Financial. These are my partners, Mark Roniker, Tom Petrisco. We've been in the timeshare business for many, many years. We've been operating as Coldbrook Financial since 2003. And one of the reasons, probably the main reason we've been around so long at Coldbrook is that we think we provide very, very good customer service. Everyone says they provide good customer service. And most sincerely think they do, but the key is how you define it. What is good customer service? And that's what we're going to talk about today. What we think it is, things we do, and why we just don't lose any customers.
I think most people would agree that good customer service is an important part of the success of any company, especially a small company such as Coldbrook. If you're an employee at a large institution and you happen to lose a good client of yours, you might be a little disappointed at first, but at the end of the day, you're still going to collect your paycheck like you always do. At a small company, a partner such as us, if we lose one of our clients, it hits us personally, where our share of the income for that year decreases. It's more than enough incentive for the partners here at Coldbrook to make sure we continue to provide good customer service to maintain the customers we have and keep them happy.
Yeah, Tom, I think one of the advantages we have at Coldbrook is that we're not only a lender, but we're also a borrower. So we know what it's like to sign loan documents and obligate ourselves to repay debt. So when we're thinking about asking our customers to agree to some terms, we think about how we would react if our bankers asked us to those terms. And if we have a problem with it, then we probably shouldn't be asking our customers to do those things. If we are okay with those requirements and we think they're reasonable, then we should be okay asking our customers to sign.
One thing, I had a dear departed friend, and she was complaining, and she stayed as a guest at someone's house about the way the room was set up, and she said, everybody should sleep in their own guest room. And I think what we do is we sleep in our own guest room.
That's right.
You know what it's like.
Yeah. I think when we moved to Coldbrook from our banking background, one of the things that lenders always did, even when you started way back in 1979, was
many years ago. Very experienced.
They asked their customers to reimburse them for travel expenses when they went out to visit them or when they went to see their resort properties. When we got to Coldbrook, even though we have those agreements in our loan documents, we said, if a banker comes out to visit with us, spends the time, goes to lunch, learns about our business, and explores ways we might do business together, we consider that time well spent. But if we got a bill from them 2 or 3 weeks later asking us to reimburse them for all their costs for that day, our view of that meeting might change a little bit. And so we've really moved away over the last 10 to 15 years for asking our customers to reimburse us. When we go to see our customers, we want to find out what's happening in their world, what challenges they're facing, what opportunities they see, and ways we might be able to work together. And we want them looking forward to us coming out and thinking about those things rather than, here they come again, we have more expenses we're going to incur.
Because so many of the timeshare lenders have worked together over the years. We all know each other. It's a fairly small community. And it's so easy just to keep doing things the same way you've always done them, just because you've always done them that way. And one of the things we looked at in the same regard what Mark was talking about is the service company audit. We have third-party service companies that service most of the receivables that we finance. And going back to the many, many years ago, as Mark pointed out, many years ago that I started, we used to ride our horses out to California, do the service company audits. We'd go pull the files, which were then cardboard files. We would look through all the paper records and do an audit. Now you can do all that online. You can sit in your office and look up all the receivable records, all the third-party servicing records. And we stopped doing that a long time ago. And our competitors still do that. And I was asking one of them, I said, why do you go out there? And she said, well, we do X. And I said, you can do X online. We do Y. You can do Y online. And we went down the list, and what I finally determined was that they go out there when generally in the winter when it's cold up here and warm out there, and they go to the conference room of the servicing company, they open their laptops and they get online, which they could be doing from their own office. We don't do that. and we don't charge customers for the expenses. And these are small items, $1,000 here, $2,000 there, but it adds up, and I think our customers really appreciate that.
Another key component to good customer service, is communication. And one of the things we tell all of our customers right up front is, just to make sure you communicate with us. Tell us the good things that have happened with your company, but also, probably more importantly, tell us the bad things. Don't try to hide things from us. The challenge we find today is figuring out what the proper form of communication is, with different people. For some people, it might be a phone call or conference calls. For others, it might be email, text, Zoom meetings, Google Meets, or who knows what technology will come our way next.
So we're Zooming today, Tom. We are at the forefront of the technology. People will see us all over the world because we know how to.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
As far as we know, we're at the forefront.
Hello out there.
Most likely, I would say it's some combination of all those forms of communication. Obviously, one size doesn't fit all. So the important thing is just to maintain open lines of communication with each other and make sure you respond promptly to your customers.
I think what makes customer service difficult is you have to be available when the people you interact with need you. It's not just when it's most convenient for you. No one wants to hear that you only respond to email or return phone calls at a certain part of the day. When they're trying to contact you, they have something to talk to you about. I've seen seminars on good customer service, and they tend to focus on you rather than the people you interact with. So at Colebrook, we've tried to minimize our internal meeting time, the amount of time we spend generating reports for management, because we are the management. If we have something important to talk about, we walk into each other's offices and sit down and discuss it. So that frees up a lot of our time for the people we interact with, which is our customers, our potential clients, and our bankers. And I think the people we interact with appreciate that. It's always interesting to me when we leave a message for somebody where we come across a potential opportunity and we don't hear back from them for 2 or 3 days. And all the time, they'll call back and say, well, sorry it took me so long to get back to you, but I was tied up in internal meetings, or I was preparing reports, or I was attending a seminar on marketing strategy. And I think, well, a strategy that seems to work well for us is answering the phone when it rings.
Excellent point. I feel it's something that we do very well. People are always astonished when they call our office and a live human being picks up the phone and is there available to help them with whatever they're looking for.
When voicemail first came into being, I was in banking, and I'd see people who worked for me looking to put voicemail on, and I said, voicemail is for after hours when there is no human here to answer the phone. It's not a substitute. It's a secondary alternative. And I told people that if they were there and I saw their hand moving for that voicemail button, I would cut it off. Fortunately, they cooperated so well, I never had to enforce that penalty. But we always had somebody there to answer the phone. And when we came to Colebrook many years ago, we did the same thing. Voicemail goes on when somebody leaves the office. The last person leaves the office, and it goes back off when the first person comes in the next morning.
Yeah, I think being responsive and being available is more than just about being respectful and nice. It's about trying to take advantage of opportunities at the time they arise. We had a customer of ours who had 2 lending sources. One was a large national bank and the other was us, and they alternated fundings each week. One week it would come to us, the next week it would go to the bank. And they called us one week and said, normally we would fund this week with that bank, but the person I deal with is on vacation. And I'm not convinced that if I send it there, it's going to get funded in time. So would you mind if we sent this package up to you instead? And we said, of course, send it on up. We'll take care of it for you. And so in a 1 or 2 minute phone call, we solved that person's problem and we picked up a little additional business. And I think that's what they call a win-win, Bill.
It is. You don't need an MBA to do that. I say win-win's an overused expression, but one of the reasons it's used so often is because it's right. It's a good customer service is good for you because you get good service, and it's good for us because we get more business. We've talked a lot about what we think customer service is and the things we do, and you can find out if we're really telling the truth or not. That last thing we talked about, just call us. You'll find out if we answer the phone. Call us at 860-344-9396. And if it's between 9 and 5, a human being is going to pick up that phone. If it's after 5, you're working too hard. Go home, relax with your family, and call us the next morning. We'll be here to answer. Thank you.